How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel and welcome to another God of War Ragnarok video. Now for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my God of Time build. This entire build is based off of slowing down time. There are quite a number of different gear pieces and weapon attachments and amulets and just all kinds of things that slow time in this game, so I made an entire build based around just constantly slowing down time. This is really good at boss fights. This helped me beat one of the hardest bosses in the game. So I'm going to go through all the different pieces of armor and all the different attachments and stuff in this video, but do be warned, this is a pretty late game build. So this is for those of you that want to see what a late game time build looks like. This is just to give you an idea of what armor pieces are good and what to keep an eye out for when you're playing the game for yourself. So this build is really good for late game, or if you're going to eventually do like a new game plus or something. I haven't used this on the hardest difficulty because I haven't started a new game yet, but I have used this on the second hardest difficulty, the Give Me No Mercy difficulty, so I have used it in some pretty late game content. So I am giving a spoiler warning for those of you that don't want to see what late game Kratos would look like. But before we get into the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, eWin Racing. Now, eWin Racing sells a wide variety of gaming chairs and gaming desks to meet all of your gaming needs, and they're having a huge Black Friday sale this month. Now, I've been using my chair from them daily for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it, but today they were nice enough to let me try out one of their new desks. It has a carbon fiber surface, which is super easy to clean and wipe off. It comes with a built-in wireless charger for your phones, a cup holder, a headphone rack, and the coolest thing of all is that it has RGB light strips that can link to your PC or gaming console, and the lights change color based off of the pace of sound of whatever music or whatever game you're playing. So I absolutely love my new desk, and if you want a chair or a desk like mine, be sure to check out eWin Racing and use code SWANY for 30% off. Alright, so getting right into things, for my chest armor, I went ahead and used the Shoulder Guard of Survival. It is the very first shoulder piece that you get in the game. I just upgraded it all the way up to level 9 because if you do that, it doesn't come with any special perks or anything, but it does have really good base stats. So the base armor in the game is really good if you level it up. It has a lot of plug and play value, and if you're doing a certain type of build, you can always plug in any of these default armor pieces to sort of complete the build. And then keep in mind, if you ever want to change the appearance of the outfit, you can go into the edit appearance menu and you can change the outfit to look like whatever you want it to. So if I wanted to go for a time build and I wanted to look all mystical, maybe I'd put on this Raven Tears outfit and just go with that look instead. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to leave it like this. And then for the wrist and waist armor, I went with both of the Gauntlets of Radiance and the Belt of Radiance. Now, when you wear both of these together, it gives you an additional bonus perk for having a matching set. It gives you 1.75 seconds of additional slowdown time, and then the main perk is a last second evade activates Realm Shift, temporarily slowing down surrounding enemies. So every time I do a last second dodge, it's going to slow down time for 1.75 seconds. And then for the amulet, I have the amulet fully maxed out, and then these are the different perks I decided to go with. I have increased melee damage during realm shifts, so anytime time slows down during a realm shift, I'm going to be doing more damage. That's always a big plus. Then I decided to go for combo finishers, provide extra charge of permafrost, immolation, and maelstrom skill gauges, and the charge lost when getting hit is greatly reduced, and you'll understand why I have this equipped here in a little bit. Next up, we have increased the damage of runic attacks when the permafrost, immolation, and maelstrom skill gauges are fully charged. And then I have when Kratos' health drops to a critical level, it grants a short invincible barrier to buff strength and health burst when complete. So anytime you're about to die, this gives you an emergency last chance. It kind of saves your life, so that's pretty handy. Then I have these 3 perks that go together. They're a set bonus, so the more health I have, the more rage I'm going to have, which is pretty crucial. And then we have gain a burst of speed and travel increased distance when evading. So anytime I do a last second evade, it's going to freeze time, and I'm going to travel a further distance and help me get away from the enemy. So if there's a big boss encounter and I do a last second dodge, I'm going to dodge really far out of the way and freeze time, and that gives me enough time to sort of regain my composure and plan my next move after that. So this is a really handy one to have. And then the final perk that I decided to go with is using runic attacks in 3 different weapons in quick succession grants a buff of increased stagger resistance and creates a storm of Bifrost. So when time is frozen, I like to use all three weapons in tandem with one another. I'll use one runic attack, and then I'll switch and I'll use another, and then I'll switch to the third weapon and I'll use another. So anytime I freeze time, I'm trying to get off all three abilities from all three different weapons simultaneously, and then this will create a storm of Bifrost. So getting into the weapons for the Leviathan Axe, the first runic attack I have is Scotty's Edge, I think is how you say it. I have it fully maxed out, and this lets you basically freeze time and select whatever target you want, and then it will throw the axe and hit whatever targets you have selected. So this does a great job of staggering enemies and staggering bosses, and just the fact that it will always freeze time every time you activate this ability is a really good plus too, so that's why I went with that. And then the heavy runic attack I have is the Breath of Thalmor, because it just sends out this big storm and it basically stun locks pretty much anyone that gets hit by it, so that's always a good plus. And then for the pommel, I went with the Grip of the Nine Realms. It says activating the Glacial Permafrost, L1 and triangle while permafrost is full triggers a realm shift, and every time you activate a realm shift it will freeze time. And then going on to the Blades of Chaos, I have the Pommels of the Nine Realms, which does the same thing as the Leviathan Axe. Activating the L1 and triangle ability when the gauge is full will activate another realm shift. And then I have Rampage of Furies, and then I have the Meteoric Slam. These two abilities aren't too important to the build because neither one of them really slow down time any, but the most important thing is definitely this pommel. You have to go with this one because it's pretty crucial to slowing down time. And then for the spear, I have the Hind of the Nine Realms, which does the same thing as the other two weapons. Activating L1 and triangle will slow down time. So for all three weapons, I have this ability where if I build up enough of the meter, I can temporarily slow down time. Then the abilities don't really matter too much. You can choose kind of whatever abilities you want for the spear as well. And then for the shield, I have the Dauntless Shield, which is pretty good at parrying. And then I have the Round or the Rond of the Nine Realms, however you say that, and it has a low luck chance to trigger a realm shift, temporarily slowing down surrounding enemies when parrying. So this is based off of your luck. The higher luck you have, I have 197, so it activates pretty regularly. Even though it says it has a low chance, I still find it activating quite often, especially if you're really good at timing the parries. So every time I get a parry, there's a pretty high chance that I'm going to slow down time as well. So if I parry, I can slow down time. If I dodge, I can slow down time. And then if I activate any of the L1 and triangle abilities on all three of my weapons, I can also slow down time. So for the Spartan Rage, I'm going with the Wrath ability. This will do a quick burst of high damage to an enemy. This is a great way of, if you know that you can't dodge an attack in time, or if there's a boss and he's about to hit you and you have no other alternative and you can't dodge fast enough, this will cancel out most of the enemy's attacks, and this will save you from taking damage. And it does a really good job of building up your weapon's individual meter. So this works really well. If you activate it, it will start to build up that combo meter, and then as soon as the ability ends, you can just get a couple more hits in, and then you basically have your meter full, and then you can freeze time. So this is just a really good extension of all my other abilities and helps me get those meters built up so I can freeze time more often. And then for the relic, this one's also really important. It's called the Hilt of Hofud, I think is how you say it. And what it does is distort space and time by creating a realm shift. And it lasts for quite some time. So this is just my backup move. If I'm ever in a dangerous situation, I can always activate this. This is L1 and circle. So this just works in tandem with everything else. So we have this relic that can freeze time. All three of the weapon hilts can freeze time. Parrying can freeze time. Dodging can freeze time. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. The whole point of this build is to basically just keep freezing time as much as possible. You can see everything coming and you can dodge everything, and it just makes you a total badass. So hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay of me using this build in the background. So that is going to do it for me, everyone, and I will talk to you all next time.
Nasty hit! You all right, brother?
Välkommen, bride! Get off there!
Use a shield strike, brother!
They're healing! The Alpha!